Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with Simple Story Saturday, and I am going to be creating my design team layout for scrapbooking the day away. So I'm kind of combine those two things together. For Simple Story Saturday, I am using Life Captured. I don't have a lot left paper-wise. Here is the sketch by the lovely Anne Marie Bryant that I'm going to use to create this layout. And I stick with it kind of close, but add a little bit and take away a couple things. I have this picture of my grandson at work, and he's hanging out with one of my friends and sending me an email. And then the other picture is the email he sent me. It's very, very important email. I have some embellishments already pulled out that I want to use, a little frame. These are all from the collection. And then I have 2 sheets of paper and a handful of scraps from the 6x8 that I want to try and get some of that use. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, I've got my pictures, and of course this lovely sketch. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I chose the background paper mostly because this is all I had enough of, and I'm perfectly fine with it. It works just fine with what I'm wanting to do. And I could have cut the other paper full sheet of 12 by 12 that I have left over. It's potted plants, which isn't necessarily fitting, but I do actually add those in to this layout, so it's fine. But these 2 papers work well enough, and because I'm matting them in black and they're going to be stand out a little bit on the layout, because that I was perfectly fine with that. Yes, I am aware that the cameras are of different size. The one square 4¼ by 4¼ at the top is from a 12 by 12 sheet, and then the one at the bottom is from a 6x8. I have no problems with that, none at all. The one on the top is going to get quite a bit of coverage with embellishments, so I am absolutely not worried about it. So I cut my black squares at 4½ by 4½, and then the inside squares are 4¼ by 4¼ and I'm gonna mat those, or I'm gonna put those in the middle pretty much of my layout. And I have put a frame around that picture of Mary and AJ. I did use my T-ruler to find the dead center so that I could get my little squares put in the right place. Now, the sketch, which I'm hoping I remember to pop up in the top left corner, sometimes I'm really good about that. Sometimes I am terrible at it. But I want to get that sketch up there. So there are some things that I don't get on here. She has some hexagons that go down the side, and then like a hexagon underneath the right picture that has the journaling. And because I make such a big cluster in that bottom right corner, I don't have room for that. I will put some journaling on here. I'm not sure where. But I will put some journaling on here just so I can make the note that AJ was typing this letter to me, and maybe I'll have it translated. I have fussy cut all those little bits and pieces you see right there, as well as these 2 potted plants. I decided I would use these things to build the beginning of my 3 clusters. So I'm going to have a large cluster, quite a large cluster in the bottom right corner, a pretty significant cluster in the top right corner, and then a smaller, more confined cluster in the left, kind of in the middle, where I put that potted plant. Mostly because I want to have the 3 spaces to draw your face, draw your attention to the middle where the pictures are, because the papers are all very busy. I mean, this is 4 pattern papers plus that frame. So now the one pattern paper is the same as the pot in the potted plants, like that brown polka dot. So it's not like I'm really adding a whole lot, and you can barely see it. It's around that black email. So it really is not very predominant, or on there. It's like a tan with polka dots, and it's a pretty thin border. So I just wanted to get it on there so that it would help it stand out from those two pattern papers in the background, the camera and that floral. So I get all that on there. I'm building that cluster up at the top pretty substantially with a desk lamp and a little cup of pencils, some scissors, a ruler, and then I'm building these two with the potted plants, and I'm adding things like pens and pencils, erasers, paper clips, things like that. So I really just kind of tuck whatever I can in there, because this is the perfect opportunity to use as much of that as I can. And I had quite a few bits of scraps that I was able to throw away. The other side of that little blue paper with the floral is the office supplies. And so I was able to fussy cut so much of the office supplies that I could throw the remainder of that blue, or the majority of the scraps with that blue and the flower on it. I do add the word hello, the sticker up here at the top. There was no subject in my email, and my friend Mary said, "Oh, we sent it without a subject. Is that okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think it's okay." So I put a little subject on there because he's just really saying hello. I'm pretty certain he's telling me how much he loves me and that I need to rescue him from daycare every day, which by the grace of God is across the street from my school. So I get to see him whenever I want, and I take him to school every day. So it's phenomenal for me. And I think it's good for the school because they know that I'll be over there pretty quickly after school's out. So anyway, I love how this turned out. I hope you'll go and check out Anne Marie. She has a website. She does these sketches weekly. Plus she's got lots of tutorials and fun things and events that you can participate in. So I will have the link for that below. Please go check out all the lovely creatives that I hop along with for Simple Stories Saturday once a month, and see how they are using their simple stories to document their lives and their memories. I love how this turned out. I'm super happy with it. Got a lot of stuff used up that I have been trying to get used. I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'd love it if you'd subscribe if you haven't already. And I appreciate you all. Have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.